Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. Steffy and Taylor lose it after Katie spies Daphne kissing Carter. According to the Monday, April 28 spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Taylor Hayes and Steffy Forrester lose it over Brooke Logan's stunt, and Katie Logan will catch Daphne Rose kissing Carter Walton. First, Katie will observe from a distance as Daphne makes another move for Carter in Monday's B&B episode. Daphne won't hesitate to snuggle up to Carter once more and go in for a lip lock because she hasn't been bashful about her desires. Naturally, Daphne will keep disparaging Hope Logan, Annika Noel, and attempting to silence Carter's efforts to bring them back together. Carter will still strive to get Hope back, but Daphne will continue to make predictions about him fitting in with her. Nevertheless, Carter will still allow Daphne to kiss him and go beyond this boundary. Katie will be furious about Daphne flinging herself at Carter and forcing him to pick her because she will be seeing the kiss from the front row. With the assistance of Eric Forrester, John McCook, Brooke just pulled a prank that will blow Steffy and Taylor away. As more information about the entire spectacular narrative becomes available, Taylor and Steffy will get increasingly more furious. Taylor and Steffy will be extremely upset that Brooke took this grand finale slot in order to attract Ridge Forrester's attention. Eric had better be ready for some drama since he will be criticized for his part in planning all of this. However, in Monday's broadcast, Brooke will receive the most of the blame from Steffy and Taylor. Taylor and Steffy will most likely corner Brooke soon to criticize her for her deceptive behavior. Things won't go as planned during the week of April 28 to May 2, even though Brooke will rely on this ostentatious performance to encourage Ridge to get back together. We'll keep you updated on Brooke's next chapter because spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that she will need to reconsider her perspective on fate in the upcoming episodes. Liam's final wish, Steffy's shocking revelation of hope, and Daphne's Carter's demise. According to spoilers for the upcoming 3 weeks of The Bold and the Beautiful, which run from April 28 to May 16, Steffy Forrester will startle Hope Logan, and Liam Spencer will make a final request. Let's discuss what lies ahead as Daphne Rose, Muriel Hilaire, will also meet her demise at the hands of Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor. While Steffy and Taylor Hayes will be furious over the showstopper disaster over the week of April 28 to May 2, Eric Forrester hopes it will help Ridge Forrester see the light regarding a reconciliation with Brooke Logan. Despite his temptation to sway back toward his ex-lover, Ridge will finally resist the urge to return to Brooke and instead stick with Taylor. After that, Katie Logan, Heather Tom, will overhear Daphne's conversation with Zend Forrester Dominguez and discover the real reason Daphne traveled to the city. Katie might find Carter to expose Daphne once she confronts her about Steffy's covert scheme. Hope will question Liam because it looks like he will be residing at the Cliff House while his brain tumor is healing. Liam will give some advice on the love life and, to the best of his ability, lie. Hope will take Liam's viewpoint into account after being counseled to get back together with Carter. Carter can become enraged with Daphne for her deceit and asks her to leave during the week of May 5 to 9. Will this be the reason Daphne returns to Paris and puts an end to the absurdity of the nose? Hope might choose to try again with Carter, but they will face a difficult battle. As Brooke begins to realize that her own reunion with Ridge isn't going to work out, she will face some of her own difficulties. It appears that Brooke will need to refresh her perspective and make some challenging predictions about her future. According to B&B spoilers, Liam might have a request for Steffy regarding Hope during the week of May 12 to 16. Liam would want to check in with Hope and Steffy before leaving once he begins to comprehend that he might actually die. Given that we know Hope will eventually return to work at Forrester Creations, Liam may be to blame. Liam might put Steffy on the spot by requesting that she declare a truce and return Hope's employment. By proposing to restart her line or at the very least find her a new role within the company, Steffy might surprise Hope. Liam might receive some positive news in one form or another. Naturally, Steffy could ask for anything in exchange and possibly haggle with Liam. Liam might at least tell Bill Spencer about his brain tumor if Steffy is certain that he notify his family. Stay tuned for some major narrative twists over the coming 3 weeks, according to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Steffy's plan revealed when Katie captures Daphne kissing Carter. Katie Logan learns about Steffy's covert plan when she witnesses Daphne Rose kissing Carter Walton. As tensions between the Forresters and Logans rise, Katie confronts Daphne and strongly defends Carter. Katie's bombshell discovery: Steffy's master plan is exposed by Daphne's kiss with Carter. A startling event that alters everything is about to cause the Logan-Forrester conflict to explore. What occurs if a protective ex-partner discovers her friend in the company of a convicted con artist? Pure soap drama. As Katie Logan happens to catch Daphne Rose kissing Carter Walton passionately, she is about to witness something that will rock Forrester Creations. The kiss that transforms everything is caught by Katie. Katie will be in the right place at the right time on Monday's episode, or, depending on your point of view, the wrong time. Following the fashion presentation in Forrester, Katie will see something that confirms her darkest fears: Daphne kissing Carter. Folks, this isn't just any harmless kiss. This is the clear evidence that supports Katie's long-held suspicion that Daphne is acting as Steffy Forrester's personal covert agent in an effort to control Carter and sabotage his relationship with Hope Logan. Katie's expression will convey the entire tale: shock, treachery, and that ferocious Logan resolve we have grown to know and adore. And trust me when I say that she will not tolerate Carter being treated in this manner. The plan that will soon be implemented. For those who haven't been following the story, let's provide some background. It was no coincidence that Daphne Rose, the elegant perfumer from Paris, just happened to bring her skills to Forrester Creations. She has always been Steffy's covert tool. The task? Convince Carter to return power to the Forresters, seduce him, and ruin any possibility of a reunion between Carter and Hope. And until Katie saw that kiss, Steffy nearly got away with it. The fact that Katie isn't merely seeing a random kiss is what makes this moment so combustible. She is witnessing the confirmation of a treachery that has an impact on those she holds in the highest regard. And if we know anything about the Logan women, it's that they ferociously defend the people they care about. Katie's protection instincts go hammered. Katie is not squandering time. According to spoilers, she will be listening in on a conversation between Daphne and Zend Forrester by Tuesday, revealing the entire scope of Daphne's actual purpose. She will be facing Daphne head-on by Wednesday. Believe me when I say that Daphne is powerless to withstand the wrath of a protective Logan. Since Katie is well-versed in Betrayal, Hay, Bill, and Brooke history, she won't allow Steffy to manipulate Carter. The drama doesn't end there, either. Given her role in human resources at Forrester, Katie may even use her influence to undermine Daphne's standing there. Talk about utilizing all of your available tools. Hope's second chance and Carter's anger. Carter will be enraged to discover that he has only been a piece in Steffy's complex chess game. Is he to blame? After everything he's been through, including losing Katie and Quinn abandoning him, this better is due to the man. This information might be the catalyst that forces Carter to firmly return to Hope's side. Liam Spencer will even be pleading with Hope to give Carter another chance by the end of the week. Yes, it is what you read. Liam is urging his ex to find another partner. Is this world bizarro? Or simply another day in the world of soap operas? Every connection will change as a result of Katie's discovery. Will Hope and Carter be given another shot at last? Will Katie's efforts encourage her to make amends with Bill or bring her closer to Carter once more? What about Steffy? Will her plan end up costing her more than she anticipated? Future plans for this exploring saga? Almost everyone in Los Angeles will be impacted by the extraordinary series of events that starts when Katie witnesses Daphne kissing Carter. What to anticipate is as follows. In addition to exposing Daphne, Katie will corner her and coerce her into acknowledging Steffy's scheme. Daphne's time at Forrester Creations may be coming to an end, especially since Katie is now in head of human resources. Carter would probably snap at Steffy for manipulating him and cut all ties with her, concentrating instead on making amends with Hope. Is this the start of a genuine romance between Carter and Hope? Relationships aside, this treachery will exacerbate the long-running conflict between the Logans/Spencers and the Forresters. Ridge can find himself in the middle once more as Katie and Brooke are furious with Steffy for using Daphne to spy on them. There is little doubt that the power structures and relationships at Forrester Creations are going to undergo a radical change. Will Steffy lose more than Carter's trust as a result of her plan? And when all is said and done, who will wind up with whom? The beautiful and the brave. Unexpected collisions between allegiance, love, and legacies place Ridge Forrester at a heartbreaking crossroads. Long divided between personal aspirations and familial responsibilities, Ridge feels the overwhelming burden of attempting to keep a family together when it appears intent on disintegrating. Despite Hope Logan's recent struggles, Liam Spencer, whose recent health issues and emotional upheavals have shown layers of sensitivity few ever expected from him, makes the startling idea that Hope and Carter Walton should get back together and resume their romance. However, a secret storm is building. In the next weeks, this web of deceit, longing, and covert objectives threatens to destroy lives and relationships as Hope, dealing with her own complex feelings, becomes increasingly skeptical of Liam's new living arrangements. Ridge's predicament is glaringly obvious. He has finally tried to select a more subdued, steady course after decades of being the focal point of both Taylor Hayes and Brooke Logan. But Ridge feels like he's being pulled in 1,000 different directions by Brooke's increased attempts to entice him back into her orbit, which are fueled by Eric's desperate matchmaking. The scenario is only made worse by Steffy's anger at Ridge's unresolved feelings for Brooke, which sets up a verbal battle between father and daughter that Ridge never desired. Ridge's remorse for leaving Taylor behind and his concern for Hope's increasing discontent, on the other hand, depict a man collapsing under unfathomable strain. He is aware that whichever choice he makes, someone he cares about will suffer heartbreak. Ridge's previously self-assured stride has given way to a cautious, somewhat pained approach to every interaction and conversation. Ridge is collapsing in a world where every look might be interpreted as treachery. Then there is Liam, who, in spite of all reasonable grounds for letting her go, simply cannot seem to avoid Hope. Liam had persuaded himself that he had to prioritize Hope's happiness over his own self-interest after receiving a near-death prognosis and witnessing life unfold before his eyes. Additionally, he believed that Hope would be the ideal match for Carter Walton because of his steady manner and unfailing loyalty. In a heartfelt moment characterized by well-meaning but disastrous errors of judgment, Liam urges Hope to think about getting back together with Carter. He presents Carter as the man who could give Liam the future, love, and stability that he tragically no longer thinks he can provide her. However, it's evident that Liam's heart is shattering once more even as the words flow from his mouth. He feels compelled to make the sacrifice, but it could end up destroying them both. Hope, though, isn't prepared to live her life according to Liam's plan. She's experienced too much sorrow and betrayal, and something about Liam's abrupt and strong demand that she move on feels incorrect. When it comes to the people she loves, Hope's instincts, which are always keen, start to hum with warning signs. Why has Liam become so insistent that she be with Carter? Why does he act so evasively and distantly while discussing his accommodations and the people he has been staying with? Hope's trips to Liam come across as rushed, rehearsed, and tense. His eyes are gloomy, bearing the weight of a secret truth in addition to the hurt of a broken heart. Liam always sidesteps or shifts the topic when she presses him about his new living situation, which makes Hope even more certain that he's concealing something important. The possibilities in Hope's mind are endless. Is Liam already having affections for another woman? He might be living with someone he doesn't want her to know about, such a hazardous or controversial person. Or worse, is he attempting to protect her from the harsh truth that his health is failing more quickly than everyone had predicted? Hope's heart oscillates between pity for Liam's evident hardships and rage that he still doesn't trust her enough to be honest with her as she battles these persistent uncertainties. For his part, Carter finds himself right in the thick of things. Carter has been attempting to start over ever since the Forrester power struggle fiasco and Hope's rejection of him. It hadn't occurred to him that Liam, of all people, would advocate for his return to Hope's life. Nor had he imagined the difficulty of even thinking about it. Even though Carter had sincere affections for Hope, he now fears that re-entering her life would just cause past hurts to resurface, not only for Liam but also for him and Hope. Being considered a consolation prize bothers him greatly. Carter's pride is too bruised from Hope's earlier rejection to allow him to be someone else's second choice. In the meantime, Steffy Forrester becomes quite irritated with Ridge. She observes her father faltering and the fissures that are developing as a result of Brooke's unrelenting pursuit. Steffy snaps, insisting that Ridge be faithful to their family, Taylor, and the legacy they have worked so hard to create. Ridge, however, is immobilized because he is caught between the past and the future. Steffy's rage only serves to intensify the instability, causing a perfect storm that might engulf everyone they care about in a vortex of bitterness and dashed hopes. Though Hope's search for the truth is gradual, her worry is heightened by every fresh contradiction in Liam's stories. She has a gut feeling that the solution she seeks would transform everything. She is aware that the tenuous bonds that still bind her to Liam are ready to break under the weight of whatever he is concealing, whether it is a tragedy or a betrayal. And there might be no turning back once they do. Ultimately, The Bold and the Beautiful keeps demonstrating why it's one of the most captivating daytime dramas on TV. A plot that promises agony, surprising revelations, and the kind of jaw-dropping moments that leave viewers gasping for air is created by the combination of Ridge's emotional collapse, Liam's agonizing sacrifice, Hope's desperate quest for the truth, Carter's divided heart, and Steffy's ferocious rage. One thing is clear as the drama develops: nobody in Los Angeles will escape this undamaged. In the process, relationships will be put to the test, secrets will be revealed, and love, that most delicate and valuable of emotions, will either triumph over all or be destroyed. Liam's suspicious move: Katie blasts Daphne. Here are the spoilers for the upcoming 2 weeks of The Bold and the Beautiful. Fans can anticipate that Hope Logan will be wary about Liam Spencer's new living situation from April 28 until May 2, 2025. In the meantime, Daphne Rose is blasted by Katie Logan, Heather Tom. Let's discuss the upcoming events in the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. And Ridge Forrester's dedication. Fans should anticipate repercussions from Brooke Logan and Eric Forrester's runway plan during the week of April 28. Eric will assert that Brooke is the rightful owner of his son. Ridge Forrester will, however, make it apparent that he is dedicated to Taylor Hayes. I think Taylor and Steffy Forrester Finnegan might try to get Brooke fired after Eric's runway plan. In the meantime, Brooke expresses her desire to get back together with Ridge to Hope Logan. Despite having a sour expression, Hope supports Brooke. Daphne Rose is blasted by Katie Logan. Katie listens in on Daphne and Zend Forrester Dominguez's talk at Forrester Creations. After the two argue, Katie becomes enraged and confronts Daphne about doing Steffy's dirty job. The fact that Daphne kisses the COO and tells him to forget about Hope is also hinted at. Carter is probably going to turn Daphne down once more. In a sneak peek for next week, Carter pleads with Hope for another opportunity. Hope will be reluctant, but Liam will persuade her to give Carter another chance. April 28, 2025, week. Speaking about Liam, Hope is dubious about his new living situation. Given that Tanner Novlan's character John Finn Finnegan is capable of handling any medical crises, it would appear that Steffy would insist on keeping Liam close. I assume Liam will relocate into the guest home on the Shin property where Paris Buckingham, Diamond White, once resided. How will Liam justify his new living situation when he insists that Steffy and Finn conceal the tumor? Spoilers for the next 2 weeks of The Bold and the Beautiful. Liam might experience some near misses during the week of May 5. It's possible that Kelly Spencer, Sophia Parras, would bring up Liam's inability to read a book. Another possibility is that Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, learns of Liam's illness and is tempted to inform Don Diamond's character, Bill Spencer. Although Lee may despise Bill for saving her life, the man also freed Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada. Bill was recently spotted in the hospital corridors. Bill informed Finn that he was going to the hospital to see an old colleague. Bill might go meet that pal again, but is there a chance he'll run across Liam? Liam will need to return for tests even if he is no longer in the hospital, particularly if he experiences more seizures. It's also fair to assume that Hope will decide on her connection with Carter in the end. In the meantime, Sheila Carter Sharp's marriage to Deacon Sharp may be terminated due to her covert relationship with Luna. Sheila has been quite daring in allowing Luna to wander the restaurant. Deacon and Luna will eventually meet in person. Hope confronts Finn after Liam moves into Steffy's house? According to previews on The Bold and the Beautiful, Liam Spencer moves into a new residence. Could Liam move in with Steffy Forrester Finnegan and John Finn Finnegan if Logan starts acting suspiciously? Let's discuss the options after you finish reading. The brain cancer of Liam Spencer. Liam recently found out that his brain tumor is incurable. When Liam left the hospital against medical advice, Steffy was the one to inform him of the situation. Steffy is worried about how Kelly Spencer will handle losing Liam. Liam appears to be in shock for the time being. Liam is similarly adamant about concealing his diagnosis and prognosis. The secret of Steffy Forrester Finnegan. Steffy could ask her husband for a significant favor because she is so frightened out by Liam's condition. It would be simple to imagine Steffy asking Liam to temporarily move in with Finn and the children. Given that Finn is a doctor, Steffy might conclude that it's the safest location. Since Shin has a guest home on the grounds, Liam wouldn't be encroaching on their privacy. What will Liam tell people about his new living situation at the same time? It would make sense if he disclosed the brain tumor honestly. However, if Liam wants to conceal his brain tumor, he will need to devise a cover narrative. Logan is suspicious, I hope. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Hope will begin to have doubts about Liam's new living situation the week of April 28, 2025. Hope may wonder why Liam and Steffy are living together. Liam would be justified in telling Hope the truth and then requesting as much time as possible with Beth Spencer. But they always have a tendency to do the exact opposite in soap operas. Liam probably has a cover story. But since Kelly noticed that her dad couldn't read a book, someone else, like a grandparent, might find out. Hope might learn a few small details that cause her to come to a startling conclusion. The moral dilemma of John Finnegan? Liam may not be truthful with Hope if he is sincere about keeping this tumor a secret. Additionally, you shouldn't expect Steffy to be honest with Hope given the ongoing Logan/Forrester dispute. Hope might then demand the truth from Finn at the hospital, away from Steffy. At one time, they were good friends and Finn is a really moral guy. I therefore find it difficult to believe that he would keep this a secret, particularly if he were challenged. The Bold and the Beautiful, and right now, all eyes are on Liam Spencer, whose secretive new living situation is raising more eyebrows by the minute. After weeks of mysterious behavior, strange evasions, and heartfelt but confusing conversations, the truth about Liam's living arrangement is finally starting to come to light, and it's creating a tidal wave of emotions. When Katie Logan catches wind of what's really going on, she doesn't hold back. In fact, she lets loose a fiery, devastating blast aimed squarely at Daphne, the woman Katie believes is taking advantage of Liam's vulnerability at one of the lowest points in his life. The tension is unbearable, and the fallout could ripple across every corner of their already fragile family. After facing a terrifying medical diagnosis and the emotional implosion of his relationship with Hope Logan, Liam needed somewhere to regroup, but where he chose to land has shocked even his closest friends and family. Instead of staying with his father Bill, his brother Wyatt, or even his longtime confidant Steffy, Liam accepted an invitation from Daphne, someone new to the scene who promised him privacy, comfort, and space to heal. However, what seemed like a harmless decision is now being viewed through a much darker lens, as whispers and rumors about Daphne's true intentions spread like wildfire across Los Angeles. Hope, already reeling from her own complicated feelings toward Liam and Carter, grows increasingly concerned about who exactly Liam is spending his time with, and why he's been so secretive about it. Every conversation feels guarded, every visit short and full of tension. Hope, for all her empathy, can't shake the feeling that something is terribly wrong. She reaches out to Katie, hoping for some insight or maybe even a plan to intervene before Liam becomes even more isolated. What neither of them expected was for Katie to uncover evidence that sends her temper skyrocketing. Daphne isn't just being a supportive friend, she may be manipulating Liam at his most vulnerable to serve her own agenda. Katie Logan, never one to sit idly by when someone she loves is being hurt, charges into the situation like a storm. She confronts Daphne head-on, unleashing a torrent of accusations and bitter truths. Katie sees right through the faux sweetness, the carefully orchestrated moments of concern, and the calculated way Daphne has positioned herself as Liam's only source of support. To Katie, it's all too clear. Daphne doesn't care about Liam's recovery, she cares about the influence and emotional leverage she's gaining by keeping him dependent on her. The confrontation is brutal. Katie, fueled by righteous anger, lists every suspicious act, every subtle manipulation she's uncovered. She calls out the dinners, the gifts, the emotional moments that have been carefully crafted to entrap Liam. Daphne, stunned but unwilling to back down, tries to defend herself, painting Katie as overprotective and paranoid. But Katie isn't buying it, and neither is anyone else who's seen how dramatically Liam has changed since moving into Daphne's orbit. For Liam, the situation is even murkier. Torn between gratitude for the stability Daphne provided at a time when he felt lost, and growing discomfort over how controlled and confined he feels, Liam is at a breaking point. Daphne has increasingly isolated him from his friends and family under the guise of protecting him, but now Liam is beginning to recognize the subtle chains wrapped around him. Katie's confrontation forces him to face truths he's been too exhausted, too scared, or too guilt-ridden to acknowledge. Meanwhile, the ripple effects of this drama spread quickly. Hope, hearing about Katie's blow-up in Daphne's defenses, feels both relieved and heartbroken. She had wanted to believe Liam was simply healing in peace, not being manipulated by someone who didn't have his best interests at heart. Now, the guilt gnaws at her. Should she have fought harder to stay connected to Liam? Should she have pushed harder when he first started pulling away? These questions haunt her, even as she tries to figure out what steps to take next. Steffy Forrester, ever the protector when it comes to Liam, enters the fray too. Hearing about Katie's accusations ignites her own fury. As the mother of Liam's daughter Kelly, Steffy refuses to stand by and watch someone prey on Liam's vulnerability. She demands an audience with Liam, hoping to pull him back from the brink before Daphne's influence becomes completely inescapable. Steffy's approach is softer than Katie's, less accusatory and more emotional, but the message is the same: Liam needs to see what's happening before it's too late. Ridge and Brooke, meanwhile, find themselves dragged into the situation thanks to family ties and overlapping loyalties. Ridge, concerned about how all this drama could impact Steffy and Kelly, urges caution, but Brooke, siding firmly with Katie, believes immediate action is necessary. The clash between patience and urgency creates yet another fault line in a family already struggling with fractures from every direction. The biggest question remains: what will Liam do? With everyone pulling at him, Katie demanding he leave Daphne, Steffy offering emotional appeals, Hope silently wishing he would find his way back to her, Liam is overwhelmed. His instinct to please everyone, to make decisions based on the needs of others rather than himself, is paralyzing him at a time when he most needs clarity. But deep down, a spark of the old Liam still burns, the man who fought for what he believed was right, the man who once stood up against impossible odds. Facing the reality of Daphne's manipulations and the devastating consequences of staying where he is, Liam begins to reclaim that lost part of himself. He confronts Daphne, not with anger or rage, but with a calm firmness that leaves no room for argument. He thanks her for the help she offered when he needed it most, but makes it clear he sees the situation for what it is now, and he's moving on. Daphne's tears, protests, and emotional blackmail fall flat against the strength Liam finally musters. As Liam steps out of the house that had started to feel like a prison, he feels both terrified and exhilarated. The road ahead is uncertain, his health, his relationships, his very future are all in flux, but for the first time in a long time, Liam feels like he's taking control of his destiny again. Katie, Hope, and Steffy rally around him, offering support in different ways. Hope, still deeply hurt but quietly hopeful, wonders if this new, stronger Liam might finally be the man she needs him to be, not for her, not for anyone else, but for himself. Katie, proud but cautious, vows to keep a closer eye on the people who try to worm their way into her loved ones' lives. And Steffy, relieved beyond words, knows that no matter what the future holds, Liam will always have a place in her family and in her heart. In the end, The Bold and the Beautiful once again proves why it's a masterclass in emotional storytelling, showcasing how love, trust, betrayal, and redemption intertwine in the most unexpected ways. Liam's living arrangement saga might be over, But the fallout is just beginning, and in Los Angeles, nothing stays secret forever.